Dear friends, I am back to recording again. As I had promised that we will discuss the book of Stephen Boyd and Levin van der Berge, the famous book Convex Optimization. Chapter by chapter I would discuss what are the materials. As I told you, I am discussing this book because it has a huge readership, it has a huge audience. The first chapter of the book, let me start talking about the first chapter first. The first chapter is a book which is a chapter which starts talking about what is the basic optimization problem or basic mathematical programming problem, where you are minimizing a objective function under certain equality and inequality constraints, and that is the standard form in many cases, most applications. He talks about what is the meaning of linear or affine functions, about convex functions. He speaks about various applications, and in what are the chapters he has discussed those applications. He talks about what are the good methods for solving. So it's a brief introduction. He talks about important problems like least square and linear programming problems. He gives a more detailed study of convex optimization and how to solve convex optimization problem. In contrast, what is called nonlinear optimization. Convex optimization can be nonlinear optimization, but then nonlinear convex functions have to be involved. But linear functions are also part of convex programming problem, because linear functions are affine functions, convex functions, and so you cannot just say convex programming is truly a part of nonlinear programming. Nonlinear programming essentially discusses convex nonlinear problems. So what there, global minimality has to be replaced largely by the notion of local minimality. Global minimality, finding global solutions are very hard. So that's what he talks about. Global optimization talks about heuristics, and a convex heuristics for non-convex optimization. That is, you make kind of approximations and try to solve that. So that's what is done in this first chapter. So that's what you will get in the first chapter. So we will now come to the second chapter of the book, which is about convex sets. Most of you know what is a convex set. Convex set is a set where if you take any 2 points and join them by a line segment, that line segment lies inside that set. Affine sets are slightly bigger kind of convex sets, where you take any 2 points and the straight line joining them. It's not only the line segment that is in between them, but the whole straight line which is passing through them lies on that. For example, in the plane R2 itself, the Cartesian plane itself is a convex set. A human body, as you know, is not a convex set. So you take a point here, join it, it is outside the body. So that's the first part of the book, the theory. It starts with convex sets. It deals the first section 2.1. It talks about affine sets and convex sets. It is a very good discussion of line segments, which is a very important thing. We will actually do a tutorial of the book, rather taking some examples. This book is not based just on theorem and lemma, it is based on examples, right? So it talks about important concepts like affine dimension and relative interior. This affine dimension is a very important concept because that allows us to speak of what is called the dimension of a convex set, which is a very important topic in optimization. So he speaks about cones, convex cones. Cones, you know, things like this, ice cream cone. So in a cone, if you take a point and you scale it by some non-negative multiplier, non-negative scalar, so x is in S, and if you make a lambda x where lambda is greater than 0, that lambda x is also in S. That's the meaning of a cone. So there is something called the convex cone, which are important. Now, these kind of things, this book is very different from other standard books, because not only deals with examples of various convex sets like hyperplanes, half spaces, Euclidean balls and ellipsoid, which it starts very early talking about norm balls and norm cones, other type of, not just the Euclidean ball, maybe L1 norm, L infinity norm. It starts talking about polyhedra, it starts talking about the semi-definite cone when it talks about the cone, this special type of convex cones. So these kinds of thing which is here is not so easily found in other books. But of course, other books also has many things which is not here. But it is practically a very good book for especially engineering students to do a good research in optimization, and also for math students who wants to do optimization. For example, the positive semi-definite cone. How do you describe the convex hull of a polyhedra? So all these things are very beautifully done with examples. Operation that preserves the convexity of a set like in intersection of two sets is convex, but you take union, the convexity is broken. So I'll do a tutorial on convex sets. Here there's a very important class of things that is studied here is linear and linear fractional perspective functions. These has some link with what is called projective geometry and has several applications in algorithms and optimization, but we will not get into too details here. So a very important thing which is never discussed in standard books on in optimization when they talk about convex sets, they do not discuss what is called proper cones and generalized inequalities. So once you take 2 points in R2, say x and y, there are two vectors consisting of the coordinates x1, x2, another consisting of coordinates y1, y2. So which is bigger? Give me any two real numbers, I can say which is bigger and which is smaller. So give me two coordinate points in the Cartesian plane, I cannot say which is bigger and which is smaller. Unless I impose a condition. For example, I say that if x is x1, x2 and y is y1, y2, if x1 is bigger than y1 and x2 is bigger than y2, then I'll say x is bigger than y. So I'll put a sign, some sign, x greater than y. So, but this cannot happen with every element. For example, 1, 1, 0, 0, then 1, 1, this vector is bigger than 0, 0 by this component wise comparison. But if I say take 1, 0 and 0, 1, I can't say which is bigger, which is smaller. Right? So, because 1 is bigger than 0, but 0 is not bigger than 1. The same for the other one. So, you can't say anything. So, this kind of comparison by pairs, this component wise comparison, what does it do? It induces a kind of partial order on the set, not a complete total order. So some elements are comparable, some elements are not comparable among themselves using this. So two elements x and y are comparable when you say x is bigger than y, if and only if x minus y is an element of say R2 plus, that is it is in the first quadrant of the plane. So but R2 plus is actually a cone. So cone induces a kind of partial order when you are in higher space, and this notion, and which goes and discusses things like minimum and minimal elements, this notion actually allows us to talk about multi-objective optimization and talk about Pareto minimization, which is a very, very important subject now, because in reality, when you are in real applications, you are not actually just bothered about one objective, you are bothered about many objectives. For example, if you are buying a car, you are not just bothered about one, say that is, I am bothered about only the mileage. I am bothered about the cost. I want a low cost, better mileage and less polluting at the same time. That's the whole point. If you buy electric car, low cost but higher mileage. So there are always objectives which are conflicting. So what do you mean by a solution in that case? That kind of things has to be studied in real applications. So that brings the subject of multi-objective optimization, which optimization books usually do not touch upon, which this book has touched upon at the very beginning, and that's why I like it. Then comes the story of separating and supporting hyperplanes, which is standard in most books, but here the approach is slightly different. So this story of separating and supporting hyperplane. Then he talks about dual cone and generalized inequalities. This is also in many books in convex optimization, but I think there are certain things which are here which is not there. But he essentially takes the whole thing gradually into vector optimization or multi-objective optimization. So, for example, example 2.27, he talks about Pareto optimal production function. Basically, that is in economics, right? Okay, so that ends. So you see that this not only deals with fully examples. Only the theorem thing is a separation theorem, but it has huge number of examples and an excellent exercise. What I'll do is I'll pick up some interesting problems which I think from this exercise and provide you a tutorial. First, I'll two parts. The tutorial part 1 would be discussing the concepts. Tutorial part 2 would be actually taking up some examples and trying to solve them. Some I think I also have to solve. Maybe it will take a little time for me, but some would be useful for engineers. But very, very good exercises. And I will discuss all this in that tutorial that's forthcoming. So thank you and hope you have enjoyed. Again, have a look at this book, a good book, and this is the chapter that we had discussed. I will just tell you. Chapter 2, convex sets. Okay, so thank you, have a good evening, and stay safe and concentrate doing mathematics. That would be much better, I think, at this time. Thank you so much.